A massive thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring today's vlog. Skillshare is an online learning community with more than 17,000 classes covering everything from photography, design, cinematography, filmmaking, social media marketing and much more. I've been engrossed in these video classes over the last couple of months as there is such a wealth of knowledge on there. And as a photographer and a business owner, I'm always striving to improve my work and take the business to the next level. Amazing landscape and travel photographers like Chris Burkard, whose work I followed for a long time, right across to my favourite marketing guru Gary Vee with his Jab Jab Right Hook class. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to all of the classes on the Skillshare site for a small annual subscription of less than $10 a month. So unlike many other platforms where you have to choose which class you want to purchase, with Skillshare you get everything. I'm going to be dropping a link below in the description where you can get yourself a 2-month free trial, but it's limited to the first 500 people who sign up. So tonight we're up at the causeway. Plan was to head along the lower path for a bit, and we've been walking for maybe about an hour, and we actually were planning to head along a couple more of the bays, but I think I've actually found my composition for the night. If I can show you behind me, it is just absolutely phenomenal. So nice. I think it's about maybe an hour and a half before sunset, so we've still got a little bit of time to let the light go down, but even so you can still already see just how nice the light is. So one of the things you have to kind of be careful about when you're shooting the Causeway Coast here is where the sun is going to hit and what bays the sun is going to light at certain times of the year. So we worked it out that come around sunset time the light should be hitting this bay here, which is the one that I'm shooting. At the minute it's probably lighting about half of it, so I'm going to give it probably another half hour, 45 minutes, and by that stage it should have come further around and actually then be coming right in and hopefully lighting up a lot more of it. I can see it moving already since I've been here, so I pretty much got my composition. Plan will be probably to shoot one image that way. I've got a composition there, and then I'm going to actually shoot one right across and probably do a pano. I think it's going to work really well, but kind of hoping for a little bit more cloud detail to come in the sky. Just above the headland here it's completely blue, which isn't really what I'm looking for, but as I say, we've got probably a good half hour to wait for conditions to change, so hopefully there'll be a little bit of cloud will blow in overhead, but still just enough that'll let the sun through on the horizon line. So that's the plan. I'm just going to have a coffee now and just enjoy this, because it's just absolutely amazing. So I've actually moved back a little bit just to get a little bit of a wider composition. Basically what I was finding, so I was shooting right out at 10mm on the Fuji, which would be equivalent of 16mm. Now with the polarizer on, I was getting quite uneven kind of blobs of blue. So what I've actually had to do is move back a little bit and then zoom in, just so that I was kind of eliminating that problem, because I'm wanting to shoot a really nice panorama. So it's basically going to start roughly where my camera is and go all the way around, right round to there. So what I'm going to do, probably first of all, I'm going to shoot a couple of single images just with, I've got quite a nice composition where I've got a pathway leading the eye towards the headland, and I'm going to shoot that horizontally. And then what I'll probably do is, once the light comes out, is probably flip the camera onto portrait and then shoot the pano that way. And yeah, the clouds, I've basically done what I've been wanting them to do. They've moved across above the headland. So all we're waiting for now, there's a little bit, if I can just show you here, there's a tiny little bit of cloud just where the sun is, and then from there to the horizon line it's completely clear. So this is I think it's gonna be pretty epic. I think it's gonna be really, really cool. Okay, so this is just about to get very magical here. 2-second delay. I'm just gonna let the light do its work. Here we go. Wow. Look at the way the light is starting to hit the headlands now. So the sun hasn't come fully out yet. Still a little bit to go. Get some really, really nice light hitting just this area here. It's really bringing out the oranges and the reds. A little bit more subtle light that's hitting the other Causeway headland, but I think it's going to get just a little bit brighter because the sun is trying its best just to come right out. It's almost there. You see behind me here, almost there. So basically, camera settings. All I'm doing here is I'm shooting at ISO 100. Shooting at f11, and at the moment I've got a 4-second exposure. Now I don't really want to go much longer than that, I don't think, because I don't want too much movement in the clouds, and it is quite windy, so I'm a little bit worried that if I start to get into crazy long exposures, then there's a chance that it might be a little bit blurry. So at the moment 4 seconds is okay. On the front I've got the polarizer. I've also got the Format Hi-Tech 3-stop ND filter, which is what's given me that 4-second exposure, and I've also got a 1.2 ND grad, one of the Firecrest grads. Now I might swap it off for a 0.9. I'm not just sure, because I'm not shooting directly into the sun, but at the moment it's fine. The exposure looks pretty well balanced. So I'm just gonna let the light do its magic here, I think.